The AP preseason top 25 college football poll is out. And the question is it hot garbage? Is it accurate? Does it even matter? We'll dive into that in a second. Welcome to another college football podcast. If you love talking college football, this is the place for you. I hope you'll subscribe. I hope you'll pass it along to all your friends. It is free, and I really do appreciate it. So the preseason poll is out. And I'll give you my opinion on it. I think that people like the poll most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time, they react to the poll based on where their team is ranked. I know that's a duh statement. I didn't have to sit and think about that for a while. But if your team is ranked in the top 5, you're probably pretty happy. If your team should be ranked higher, in your opinion, and they're ranked like number 15, and then you look in front of them and you see, you're like, how did they get there? That doesn't make sense. Is this good old-fashioned home cooking by their conference buddies? Maybe so. But here's what I'm going to say. It is out. It is preseason football, and we're almost there. Week 0, kicks off next week. In 2 weeks, the whole shooting shebang is like up and running. Week 1. So this is the best time of the year to talk about this. Now, I'm not going to place it on the screen because, quite honestly, I haven't really found a really good one just focuses on the poll without a bunch of crap around it. So ranked at number 1 for this preseason AP top 25 poll is Ohio State. Oregon at 2, Georgia 3, Notre Dame at 4, Texas at 5. Here's my opinion. I think that Oregon is overranked. I think they are overranked. And sorry, Duck fans, I know it's the past 2 seasons, but the past 2 seasons, you've went into the college football playoff and you've got shellacked. Well, those were those last 2 years' teams, and we have made massive changes. Hopefully so. Hopefully you don't go back to the college football playoff again for a 3rd year in a row and get embarrassed. Georgia at number 3. I'm a Clemson Tiger, folks. I have no ill will towards Georgia, but I'm not a Bulldog. And I think Georgia deserves to be number 2. Over Oregon. Let's talk about Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame should be ranked higher than Oregon. Notre Dame is returning most of their team. They have their starting quarterback back. And you have Marcus Freeman doing a really good job there. Now, this year, they have an extremely favorable schedule. They play Miami at home later in the season. I think it's November the 7th. And they travel to BYU. By the way, you need to go take a look at the ticket prices for that game. It is wild. Anyway, Notre Dame definitely, I think could be number 3 or number 2 before Oregon. All right, let's talk about Texas at number 5. I think they're overranked. No offense, Longhorn fans. You're not a bad football team, but I think this is an overranking. If Arch Manning's last name was Smith, I'm not so sure that you'd be ranked where you're at. Top 10, maybe. And that's not a shot at Manning or the Manning family. He can't help that everybody is losing their mind over him. Number 6, let's go 6 through 10. Indiana, Miami, Texas A&M, Ole Miss at 9, and number 10, Oklahoma. Okay, Indiana, if you would have told us 1 year ago that they were just going to make it back to the college football playoff, a lot of us would say, okay, I just don't really see that. They won the whole thing. They went completely undefeated. Kirk Cignetti has proven that as of right now, we're talking about today. We're not talking about 20 years ago, 5 years ago, any of that time frame. We're talking about right now. The game's changed a lot in just 3 years. I believe he's the premier head coach in all of college football. And you have him ranked number 6, but I'm looking at Oregon at 2, and I'm looking at Texas at number 5. You couldn't sneak them into the top 5. They don't have to be number 1 just because they won the national championship last year, but for goodness sakes, I guess whoever these voters are, whoever they are, they really don't think that coaching matters. I guess not. Miami at number 7. A lot of expectations for them this year. I can't say that they're overranked. Top 10, I guess, is fine. Texas A&M. Mike Elko can coach. Coaching matters. They have Marcel Reed back. They've recruited outrageously well. They have acquired players very well. You could see them a little higher, actually. Number 9, Ole Miss. I have a rub here because it's going to be interesting to see how Pete Golding does as the head coach of this team. Right now, they're riding high off of Lane's success, and they return a lot of really good players. It's just going to be interesting because, again, I believe coaching matters. Let's go on down to number 10, Oklahoma. Now, as a Clemson fan, here's the former defensive coordinator for the Clemson Tigers during their 2 national championships and that incredible run they had. Ever since this man, Brent Venables, left, things have not been right in Clemson. He's at number 10. I like that. It's not disrespectful, but it's not overreaching. All right, let's go 11 through. We have a few that are tied at 14. I don't know why they would just not break the tie alphabetically or whatever. But anyway, number 11 is LSU, Texas Tech, Alabama. Tied at 14 is BYU and Southern Cal. So that's technically 15. LSU, I have a lot of respect for Lane Kiffin's ability to scheme and his ability to take a group of players who their boxes aren't even unpacked. I mean, they just transferred in. They have things that are just kind of stuffed in the corner. It's not placed. They just moved into Baton Rouge. This guy has the ability to take a group of guys who barely know one another's names and win with them. With that said, I think that LSU is overranked. I don't think this is helping them. I think this is hurting them. We will see, but they're at number 11. I could see them more in like a number 15 range, kind of challenge them a little bit. Hey, we ranked you in the top 15, but we're not going to overrank you. I think this is an overranking. We will see. Number 12, Texas Tech, definitely an overranking. With everything that went on with Sorsby and them replacing him, I think that this is an overranking. We will see. The Big 12 is not that good. Let's go to number 13, Alabama. This is a really interesting game. A lot of people believe that Kellen DeBoer or this is very interesting ranking. A lot of people believe he's coaching for his job. I can't say that. I don't know, unless he just ruins everything. Number 14, BYU. They've had 2 back-to-back incredible seasons. They can't make the college football playoff. Maybe they will this year. We'll see. Number 14, Southern Cal. Lincoln Riley, the seat is getting hot. They have a lot of really good players coming back. They've brought in a lot of really solid players between the portal and high school ball. We'll see what goes on there. Let's go to number 16 through 20, Michigan, Washington, Penn State, SMU, and Tennessee at number 20. All right, Michigan with new head coach Whittingham. We need to look at this. I think this is a touch of an overranking. I would like to see them a little lower, maybe in the lower teens. It respects them, but it also turns around and goes, not so fast, my friend. If you were Wake Forest, we wouldn't rank you this high. So there we go. Washington at number 17. I'm kind of okay with that. Number 18, Penn State. All right, Nittany Lions fans, you're not going to like me for this. Everybody's going to think I'm dogging Matt Campbell and all this bunch of stuff, or Iowa State. Look, I'm just telling you the truth. Iowa State is dressing up as Penn State this year, playing in a much tougher conference, and they couldn't win their conference last year. Why are they number 18? I don't get it. Number 19, SMU. That seems about right. That seems about right. Number 20, Tennessee. Folks, I'm going to tell you this. If they get their quarterback situation nice and solid, we are going to look back at this ranking and bust out laughing. I think that they could be ranked top 15. I don't see top 10 right now. I think that would be an overranking, but in the top 15. They're ranked number 20. I think that's kind of laughable. Number 21, Utah. They lost their head coach. I know that the guy who's now running things has been there for 2 decades. That's interesting. Number 21 is, I don't know. Number 22, Iowa. You never really know, but you can kind of be safe and say, all right, if they're going to be ranked in that area is okay. Number 23, Houston. Willie Fritz has got some really good things going on down there. Here's the thing. They have to win the games that are kind of toss-ups, and it would be nice to see them win a game that it's like there's no way, like that Texas Tech game. You win that game, you're probably going to be ranked higher than that. I'm not going to say top 10, but that'll be interesting. Number 24, Louisville. I think that Brom, going into year number 4 with his 4th different quarterback, I think this could be one of his better teams. We will see. They're ranked at number 24. Again, you're respecting them, but you're not overranking them. That's good. I cannot stand for teams to be overranked. It drives me nuts. But then again, who's calling this? Missouri. Let's talk about Missouri for half a second. Missouri, last year, they were supposed to have a fall-off year, and then Drinkwitz made them competitive. He can coach. He can coach. End of story. So, yes, they lost Pribula. He's a Virginia Cavalier now, probably going to get the starting job, if not already named the starter. But with that said, don't you ever count out Missouri. Now, one of the teams that I know outrageously well who is not in this top 25 for the first time in about 15 years is my Clemson Tigers. Remember 1 year ago, a lot of people, including like Paul Feinbaum, Greg McElroy, they were like, hey, I think these guys can win the national championship. Fast forward multiple months later, you didn't even have to go multiple months, just a few months later, Clemson had already lost 3 ball games, and everyone's scratching their head. What's going on? 9 of their 22 starters were selected in the NFL draft after going 7-6. Nothing absolutely has made sense for a while now. So Clemson not being ranked, and I'm saying this as a Clemson fan who has my own Clemson channel. I'm not just going to sit here and beat up on Clemson, but I'm going to tell you I like that they're unranked. I think that it is good for them to kind of get a, pat on the cheek. Wake up, guys. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Coaching staff. 1 year ago, you were a favorite. You did what you did. A lot of that coaching staff, by the way, is back. Not all of it, but a lot of it. And so I think that it's a challenge for them. I was really concerned that they would be ranked just to go into Baton Rouge and lose and LSU have a ranked win against a team that's at that time probably shouldn't be ranked. So we will see, but that's quite interesting. Overall, the synopsis. I mean, I named out the teams that I'm like, I just don't know about this. I'll just sum it up like this. If your team is ranked really high, you're probably doggone happy. If you're more of a realist, kind of like me, you don't like it when you see teams overranked because they have a false sense of accomplishment. Now, let's move on into the season. We get into week 8, week 9. A lot of football's been played. You pretty much have an idea of who's who in college football. That's when the polls really mean something. Up to this point, it's just a bunch of history and backroom handshakes and home cooking and all that bunch of stuff. But it is very nice to see it, to see when teams are properly ranked or close. That it doesn't have to be perfect, but it's close. Having Notre Dame and Georgia in the top 5, I think is a smart move. And I'm not going to go back through everything I just said. There's no reason to do that. But with that said, and just to close here, think about last year. LSU, Penn State, and Clemson returned a ton of talent, returned their starting quarterbacks, and 2 of those 3 teams fired their coach. not even before the season was over. I'm talking about midway through, fired their coach. And that is what you can use to look at these AP Top 25 polls and go, hey, how serious are they? I'll leave that there. If you like what I'm doing here, first off, I hope you'll subscribe. It's free. It's not going to cost you a thing. And then next, I ask you to pass it along to your favorite team, your favorite team's fan base. I don't care if it's on Facebook, on X, texting someone, whatever, drop it in a forum and let them know that I'm not only talking about college football, but I've broke down a lot of teams. I've broke down everyone from North Dakota State all the way up to Ohio State. So y'all go take a look at the video. Drop me a line here. Let me know what you think about this AP Top 25 preseason college football poll. You take care of yourselves, and I'll catch you on the next one.